Yeah, that was the biggest thing, because one of the things that I've learned, I move in on February 10th.
Okay.
I'm moving on February 10th, and that's going to be dope, because I usually don't do like the behind the scenes stuff, but I'm going to try something different this year and do like vlogs. I'm going to have the live stream and everything like that, just IRL content. I'll probably set up a tripod, hit, live stream, and then while I go through my entire day while sitting in what will be my office for the very first time, where I don't have to, like, my bed's right there and then I'm recording right here, and then it's just a brutal sort of situation, because you can never separate from home and work. Everything was always on top of each other. Right. So now if I have a separate room or something like that, I won't feel as if it's like home, or I could go upstairs to one of the conference areas and do stuff up there. So it's a whole different dynamic, and I want to be able to document all of that, because although in the past I never thought it was important, but I think it is very important to show the growth as you continue to ascend.
I think it's inspiring to people.
Right.
Because it normalizes you as a human. Like, one of the biggest things I posted when I got this place, and it hit, the post hit, I posted like where I was living 10 years ago, and then this. And it's like the difference that 10 years can make.
Right.
Because before, I always knew what a penthouse was. I had never experienced it. Or I had never like imagined what it was actually like. So like, for me to like get a place like this, which is just ridiculous, I'm like, damn, this is 4 times bigger than the house I grew up in.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
And it's in 10 short years. So yeah, man, it's one of those things where it'll make you cry some like thug tears, because you're like, bro, I did that.
Yeah, and most people don't recognize how close they are to the life that they want to live.
Yeah.
Because if you have like the money block, or you have just a mental block.
You're like a year away.
Yeah, right.
It's always like a year away.
Right. It's only because if you committed yourself for 12 to 36 months is like the area.
Yeah.
Because if you sacrifice 3 years of your life, you put down the phone, you don't just be a consumer of social media, you're not somebody who's just sitting at home all day watching Netflix. If you just committed the time for 12 to 36 months, you would be surprised the kind of progress that you'd be able to make. Like, it's one of those things where once you start, you're like, wait a minute, hold on. Let me talk to this person who lives in this house. How long did it take for you to get here? And if they'll be, oh yeah, it just took me about 18 months. Really? So if you just do the same, life would be amazing. So it's one of those things that I think a lot of people have to take into account, because this isn't an overnight. I think that's the significance of the 10 years, that you had there. Because people will be, oh, well, 6 months, I've tried. Well, 6 months ain't long enough. You got to go for longer than that. And if you really commit yourself, you'll be able to accomplish it.
100%. Sorry, my dog was barking, so thank you. She heard him barking.
Yeah, needed the missus to come grab up the dog who was freed himself.
Yeah, no, I think that 2024 is gonna be a good year. I'm super excited. One of the big goals, actually, I was thinking, is this podcast thing. We want to do a lot more with the podcast, and it's interesting because this is 6 months in,
right?
And we've been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and we haven't run out of things to talk about.
Right.
We've been talking about different shit, whether it's politics, whether it's pop culture, whether it's sports. Like, I feel like we have a pretty good grasp of that. I mean. And you'll see it like occasionally, every single video, you'll catch one little that catches the algorithm. People start talking about it. So it's a really interesting thing to look at.